dorm do you live in?
I live in Calais. What about you?
Oh my god, Cawthorn.
What?
Oh,
What is that?
that's a dog.
What? Where can I get one? I don't know anything about it.
Did someone say dog? No need to fear. I am your fairy dog mother.
They do exist. I knew it. Can you please tell me what traits to look for in a dog? I am completely clueless here.
There are two types of traits to consider: polygenic and simply inherited traits. First of all, a simply inherited trait is only affected by a few genes. You see, take a look at this dog right here. You see her coat color? This is a simply inherited trait.
Well,
No.
I heard that environment can also affect traits in like dogs and animals. So like, what if I want like a white colored coat on her? Do I like just leave her in the sun and then eventually she'll just become white?
No, you're a ding dong. You can't just leave a dog out. That's polygenic. Polygenic traits are genes affected by many genes, no single gene having an override influence. See again? See how these dogs are running? That's influenced by many different factors, including muscle mass, exercise.
What if I want an even faster dog? I have a dog. She's the fastest dog around. That's not a...
Well, alrighty then. Now that you've seen all of these traits, have you decided what traits you're looking for in a dog?
It's a really hard question. I think I want a dog that has a black coat. And I really think I want a dog that's athletic as well.
Well, you see,
Okay, so for black coats, that's a simply inherited trait, and we can use a Punnett square to predict if your dog would have a black coat. For example, here we see that the black coat is dominant, which means we only need the presence of one allele or both alleles, big B and big B, or big B and little b, to get this trait. The white individual would be homozygous recessive. So for example, if we had an individual that was homozygous dominant and homozygous recessive, this is how we predict the offspring. I'm going to take this B, place it right here, and this little b right here. And we do that for every single square. And in this example, we see that we have 100% success for heterozygotes that will showcase the black allele. So in a test cross, we take a known individual that has double little b's. This is the recessive for the last example for the white coat. We take this individual and we mate it with an unknown individual. Based off of a large sample of their offspring, we should be able to determine what genotype they have. If they do not produce any offspring with double little b's, that means that our other mate should have been homozygous dominant, given that every single offspring will produce the black coat. So for our second case scenario, when we breed this known individual, is that we do end up getting offspring, given it's a large enough sample, that have the white coat. This means that the individual it was mated to had to have been heterozygous to get this homozygous recessive trait. So she just explained simply inherited traits. As you wanted a black dog or black coat color dog, you also wanted a dog that was very athletic and could run fast. However, those are polygenetic traits, and unfortunately we cannot determine those without statistics.
Dang it.
An exception to polygenic traits are threshold traits, and that's because they contain multiple genes, and it's either you express this trait or you do not. An example of a threshold trait is hip dysplasia. This dog has his hip dysplasia.
To summarize what we've gone over so far, for simply inherited traits, they are classified into categories. They also involve only a few genes when being expressed. The environment has little effect on their trait expression, and they can be easily predicted. For polygenic traits, they have quantitative classification and involve multiple genes to be expressed. The environment can have a large impact on these trait expressions, and they require statistics for us to make predictions.
I know the perfect one. She is black and she's athletic, and it's the one that the stranger came out and told me she knew the perfect dog for me. That's the one I want. It's perfect.
No.
She's perfect for me.
That is not a dog.
Are you sure?
I have the perfect dog for you.
Really?
Come here.
Come here!
Come here.
Come here! She's perfect! I love her. She has a black coat and she has athleticism in her. She's perfect.
How much is that doggy in the window? The one with the waggly tail. How much is that doggy in the window? I do hope that dog is for sale. I must take a trip to California and leave my poor sweetheart